just brought, Katrina, I should say, has just brought her expertise to our YouTube channel. Miss Osborne has been there doing the graphics for our Facebook and otherwise. Miss Suen Chang, as a young mind, has brought our expertise. You know, the younger generation with the technical aspect of it. She runs all our meetings online and other, and monitors it very, very well.
So Kasata sounds like a very organized body.
I should think so. We have been getting that near and far. And I should not forget to speak about the diaspora with Mr. Evans, Mr. Biles, Hector Bennett and these guys. They are also a part of the development committee that we have out there, and Mr. Michael Henry from New York. And these people are on board with us. And don't let me not forget, the one and only beautiful female, former national champion, Shani Clare, is also a part of this group.
Oh, I remember that name.
Yes,
Shani
man.
Clare, I remember the name.
That strong young lady that gets the job done. So we are there. And so you see now, Kasata has to be reporting to these people. So it's not a decision that Spoon is going to be making all by himself. No, it's a everybody roundtable approach.
And in a nutshell, it's not a party shop.
Most definitely. This
Not
is
a party shop.
You notice I said an institution.
Right.
Yeah.
And your mission statement to develop the sport of table tennis in Jamaica through the empowerment of players, officials, supporters, and business while maintaining the rule and value of ITTF. And your vision statement to lead with transparency, important word, accountability, and integrity. These are important to create and execute programs of international standards while enhancing the communities we serve. And you work by these statements.
As you see, sir, and I know those statements were done as a team. When this was being put together, we had to sit down many hours prior to the pandemic and make corrections here and there to get the final, the adjustments final. But as you know, these things will change as the year goes on to improve the standard of what we are doing. Your mission statement normally change according to the economic situation of the country and all these things. So, but for now, this is what we are using, and we are in dialogue of how to get this done better.
All right, for the first time, we are now live again on Roots Radio. We're also live on Roots FM Facebook page, Roots FM YouTube channel, and also for the first time live on WDT Media TV. So you're gone global now.
Oh,
all right.
It's good to be here, sir.
We're talking table tennis. All right. Just to be clear on one issue now. Persons are there have a certain narrative that Kasata was founded to be a competitor to the Jamaica TT Association. But from your perspective, you want to work alongside them, not to compete against them.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much for answering it for me, sir. We are here to work and develop and build table tennis, not only in Kingston and St. Andrew, but in the wider cross-section of the country. It must be a team effort.
Right.
A united front, not a splintered approach. So we want to be able to work with everybody, as you see we have done up to this point.
All right, but the JTT now. All right, Kasata. All right, in football on paper, normally you have JFF, and each part associations have at least, I think the president of each part associations form the JFF board. I don't know if it worked that way in table tennis, where each affiliate group members become board members. I'm not sure if it works. That will work in TT.
Okay, I'll say this for now. It should be like that. But pertaining to the operations of the Jamaica Table Tennis Association, I'm unable to clarify what method of managerial and financial measurements that are being employed. But the result speaks for itself. I can only speak to Kingston and St. Andrew Table Tennis Association.
All right, Kasata. All right, you have a board. How do you comprise your board members?
Our board the board members really started were the initial. Most of them were the initial persons from that year. Mr. Salke, Andre Chin, Jimmy Horn. These were table tennis lovers from then, and they had kids playing. And we always had our, we wanted to support the development of the sport. And we decided that since the Constitution speaks to parish associations, we would step forward. I remember meeting in camp and meeting by Curfew Place and Jamaica National Sports Club, and we decided that this is what we are going to do, how we are going to do it. And then we registered as a company from those times until present.
All right. So we are seeing where Kasata seems to be on sound grounds. We're seeing Kasata program for the year. So you have a Kasata Evans Biles Extravaganza, training for coaches, referees and umpires, junior leagues and championships, senior league championships, and Kasata Classic championships. Tell us now, you plan to uplift table tennis in the corporate area. That's your
yes, sir. But while assisting the parishes.
Well, all right. So tell us now about your plan now for TT in the corporate area.
Well, as you see, every August 2019 we started the unforeseen opportunities that the pandemic brought.
Right.
Or the missed opportunities. But we'll be facing the Evans Biles in this August, the third week of August. And we are hoping to bring an international flavor to it. This may not be kept at Excelsior. We are looking to widen the scope at the UTEC. I think we have reserved the date already.
In August.
In August. And as you see there, the Women's Cup will be the year before, the Saturday before Mother's Day. And this time around, Shani Clear, who lives in Anguilla, will be leading that charge for the Kasata team. This was her initiative the very first time we had it. Shani Clear played a very instrumental role with the support of the Kasata group. And then you'll see, we want to do a church competition. This is a 2023 calendar. We're going to do a church rally. So within everything that we do, God must be in our midst.
That's true.
We're not going to speak this because people want to hear about God. We try every meeting, we open with our prayer, we close with our prayer, and we try to meaningfully do what we are saying and we are praying for. Let us do the prep and primary has not been done in a while.
Right.
And we are seeking
since the pandemic.
Yes, sir. And we are seeking sponsorship to host the prep and primary school championship along with the Kasata. We are in the process of reaching out to the Institute of Sports, which has done so much for the juniors in this country in the different sporting categories.
I know, mostly like junior, like the primary and junior high champs.
Beautiful.
Over the years.
Exactly. So we want to work with them.
And netball and football over the years.
Yes, but for doing that, we'll have to approach them with a prospectus to die for. And we are in the process of editing what we have to present to these companies and the Institute of Sport to assist along the way with the prep and primary. You mentioned Intercal. The Intercal system has not been up for a while. I remember when I came on board with Intercal, I was at the GC Foster, I think for 1 year. And we had the Intercal table tennis meeting, and I made a suggestion. I saw it was GC Foster, UWE, UTEC, and I was saying to persons who were there long before me in table tennis, 3 teams cannot maintain a competition. 3 teams can maintain a competition.
You mean like for the tertiary?
For no competition at all.
That's true, because 3 teams we get 3
okay.
teams.
And we have
about 3 matches and it finished.
It finished. And then we have so many universities and colleges in our beautiful country of Jamaica, our island of Jamaica. I made a suggestion then. I said, why don't we invite these colleges, put it in a category, call it whatever name you want, Division 1, 2, 3, 4, A, B, C, it doesn't matter. But the numbers will speak volume. People will pay for bragging rights, because if you go to A college and I go to B, and we might have a drink later or meet up on a corner, and I can tell them, I'm just beat up Mr. Dudley,
Yeah.
We brag, but the sport is being highlighted by this means at every.
Right.
I was laughed at, sir. I was laughed at and told in no uncertain manner. Boy, you bring your foreign thing come here. That is what I was told. So
Foreign thing?
Yes, sir. So I'm saying, hold on, something wrong. Let us jump further down the line. The intercal is no longer playing for the longest while. Table tennis, that is. I don't know about the other sports in intercal, but table tennis has not been up.
Well, yeah, true, but yeah, but the football going on at still, but
Okay.
and the netball used to go on, but COVID kind of put a damper on most of the things.
That's true, but that is true. But then, table tennis is the only sport that had COVID protocols. Naturally, we were 9 feet away.
Yes.
And things were done in the pandemic. People were playing, sanitizing of the balls, do not shake hands, you can't touch racket. There are protocols that was placed. So we not having an intercal competition or a primary school competition is not, I will not sit here and blame the pandemic. The pandemic should have probably been an opportunity, as we now know. Everybody is zooming. So we should be zooming and making plans during that period, because we know, well, I knew in my mind that the pandemic was going to last forever.
Right.
So we had to make, Casata had meetings while the pandemic was going on.
Wow.
We were discussing things, what we're going to do next, and we check on each other to make sure everybody was good, but we still communicated as a unit. So when I'm looking at these things and I'm saying, no, intercal, then now we had this Solidarity Fund brought in Mr. Christian Lillerus. You remember?
I remember that name.
That gentleman from Sweden?
Yes.
ITF?
Since Lotan introduced me to me, come here, years
Okay.
ago. Yes.
So, okay. So we got Mr. Christian. I was the coordinator for almost every event that he took place. I was carrying him around. We were coordinated here and there. And we had a meeting. We had a meeting by Sports Development Foundation. I remember it clearly. Small meeting. I was sitting on the floor in the corner, and the intercal was brought up as one of the agenda on the item, and he mentioned the same process of bringing in our colleges, and then if we have X amount of colleges playing, he's saying we could participate in the NCAA in the US.
Wow.
Because they have their intercal just like us, and they have a 1 day rally, and they move it from state to state. So why is it that Jamaica champion team out of the intercal could not be participating in that rally?
That would be a good booster for Jamaica.
Exactly.
And TT.
One at a time, they could be coming here. We could be going there. So it would be
exchange program.
Program.
Yeah.
There's a lot of players from the Caribbean that has gone to the colleges in the US through table tennis. Mr. Christian Lillerus mentioned that in the meeting, and the same persons that said I was bringing my foreign thing to the game were beating the table. And I got up and I walked out.
Wow.
Because I'm saying to myself, hold on, because it's a white and blue eye man and spoon have no sense.
Well, that's an issue in Jamaica over the years.
But come on, that mean, you know what that says to me as an individual? We are not about the sport. We are about ourselves, the benefits for ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
If you sacrifice and make a foundation, and you have a good foundation, you can almost build anything that will last from a good foundation. And that is what Casata is about. We are a management-driven association, as I said before. We speak about these things. Collective decisions are made. Not a one man or the loudest mouth. No. We cannot be disrespectful to each other. You understand? We cannot be disrespectful because we would not reach this far. And remember, we are not a funded establishment, We have to go out and seek our funds. And people will see what we have done. After each event, sir, we send out a financial statement, expenditure statement, to show how your money was spent.
That's what you call accountability and transparency.
Yes, sir.
All right. We're now up on a break. This is Make We Talk Sports on Roots FM 96.1. We're talking to our special guest, Mr. Stephen Spoon Grant, and he's a director in the Kingston and St. Andrew Table Tennis Association. All right, so quick pause for the calls here. Roots FM 96.1. This is Make We Talk Sports.
Yes, tune in to Youth Talk, the program where we, the youths, get to share about issues that are affecting us
and how we can resolve them. That's Youth Talk. This and every Monday from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m.
with your host,
Britannia Douglas
and Owen Brown. To participate, call 876-225-9478.
Youth Talk. This and every Monday from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m.
I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal.
Do you want to talk about what's happening in your community or share your thoughts on national issues? Then tune in to Make We Talk Tuesdays with yours truly, Jeffrey Tavares. This and every Tuesday from 11 a.m. to 12 noon. Join the conversation by calling 876-372-8446 or 876-225-9478 on YouTube at Roots FM Jamaica and Facebook at Roots FM JA. That's Make We Talk this and every Tuesday on Roots 96.1 FM, the voice of the inner city.
It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come.
All right, and welcome back here to Make We Talk Sports here on Roots FM 96.1 for the very first time. Make We Talk Sports is live on WDT Media TV. We are live also on Roots FM Facebook page, Roots FM YouTube channel, and also live on Roots FM radio. So anywhere around the world, you can log on to this program, Make We Talk Sports, with special guest, Mr. Stephen Spoon Grant, and he's a director in the Kingston and St. Andrew Table Tennis Association. We're talking about your accountability and transparency. That it is a word that now that is now in Jamaica right now. These words are very key words to the success of an organization: accountability and transparency. That is what CASATA can have. I can show to your donors and your board members.
Well said, Mr. Thompson. That is why we pride ourselves. Remember, our directors are professionals in their fields. Mm-hmm. We have to make sure we give accountability to these professionals. Mm-hmm. Not because they are not seen, but whenever we finish, as you might not have known, we have audits. We have done audit statements as a small association. And you know audits cost. Mm-hmm. And we are planning to do this present set of audits as soon as we are finished the financial statements for 2022. So it goes to show, there's no one leader here. It's a collective effort. As I said before, where collective decisions are made for the good of the players whom we represent on the whole, leading to good governance in particular. And it is said, the true test of any organization is how well the public is pleased with their performance. I should sit here today and say, in my opinion and CASATA's opinion, a lot of the public eyes, they are pleased with our performance. The thing they are asking, how much more can we do?
Wow.
And we will ask, how are we going to get the support and where it's going to come from? Because we are reaching out. The SDF has assisted us many times. And I will sit here today representing CASATA and say thank you to the Sports Development Foundation and others for the support. We have small sponsors, VAP, we have Zomo, who does our printing. We have all these places that come on board. Excelsior Auditorium is the home of CASATA. I said the auditorium.
Excelsior?
Excelsior School. We have a MOU with Excelsior presently. That is what we are trying to do. We don't want to say me and Mr. Dudley's friends. No. We want to have a partnership with everybody that we go in contact with. And that will help us in our transparency and our accountability, because you will not be micromanaging us, But we will be here to make sure that when you say A, we can produce A for you at a short notice.
Right. Let's say a shout out to 189 Table Tennis. They're at JC, Junior College.
Oh, beautiful organization, beautiful program in place right now.
So let's ask now how Kasata really assists with 189.
No, well, so far we have a young player that is a part of that, going to the JC school. But JC is actually, can I say they can afford it?
Right, yes.
I owe my friend, the manager of the team, don't squeeze my neck. But whatever we can do, whenever we get our goodies from overseas, the Evans, Biles, they normally send equipment. We don't check to see who we're going to give. As long as you reach us to us, we will give balls, we give rackets, we give used rubbers. If we have shirts, whatever we have, we do share. And remember, the last time that the equipment came, we had to pay to clear it. So when individuals were saying we should give it to them to clear, to issue, to me and to us, it doesn't make sense. You don't ask us where you get money to clear it. So,
that should be the need. Like for instance, you have an active TT program, you get the equipment.
Yes, sir.
Now to go
And
put
we
them
share
in the backyard and your friend play.
No, Supersonic with Mr. Daly is instrumental in the development of table tennis in and around Kingston and St. Andrew. They have them annual, monthly, fortnightly event training session. They keep going, they keep table tennis up and running. So we always support them. They always support us. And before I forget, I must mention Mr. Lamont now, who is throwing in his ring from Portland.
Oh, I'm going to join very, very, very shortly. Let me ask you now, Kasata, how many different table tennis clubs in the Corbett area so far you have in contact with so far?
Well, I can name some like Blue Diamonds. We have Blue Diamonds. We have Franklin Town Primary. We have Maranatha Chapel as a table tennis, building a table tennis club there. And that's a part of the Mavisville.
You mean Maranatha in what house?
No, Maranatha Chapel by Dinner Road.
Oh.
Our director, Mr. Dr. Houston, is a director of the church, an elder in the church. And we know that places like in Off Maxfield, St. Luke, and St. Patrick Church, we went there recently as helping them with a little program that they're starting, and we will be supporting them. They have tables there.
That program started years ago, and it stopped and restarted.
And we'll be a part of it. And don't forget, Mr. Young from Whitfield Town. That young man has been doing wonders with his kids in Whitfield Town. I can say that. He's not here. I haven't spoken to him in a while, but I'm willing to say that. So we have Georges. Emmings, the coach, we call him Fire. In 2019, they had a nice tournament down there. We got funding from the SDF, and we didn't keep it for ourselves. We put on the records for that year. We had about 4 tournaments being put on. Waterhouse, Kasata, Supersonic, Georges. All participate in table tennis because of our support. Notice I'm saying Kasata's support.
Yes.
I cannot speak for nobody else. And I will not go there.
I know you can speak on behalf of the Jamaica TT Association,
not at all,
but
sir. Not at all.
We are getting some information that I don't know if you might can say yeah and yeah, but we understand that they've been operating for quite a while now, years, but not registered. And you might can't answer that, but I get that information. But you can't speak to that because you're not a part of the. But all right, Kasata, as I said earlier, Kasata is not to run against the JTTA. It's to work alongside them.
Yes, sir.
But how many members of Kasata have active role in JTTA?
None.
No, that's surprising.
None.
And you so far as the leading parish association.
Sir,
and none of your members have an active role in the national body?
Remember, when the last election was kept, 2 years ago, they selected their team, and they are working with the team presently. I don't know how many members of that team is still a part of the association. The only thing I can say is that I was asked recently by a prominent individual if when the association have meetings, if the affiliates participate or are invited. I said to the gentleman and the lady, I said, I don't know, but I can say that Kasata has not been invited. We had one meeting with Mr. Lou some time ago by Barbican Terrace. That's Mr. Michael Grant Club. And we have never been invited to any meeting. We have issues that we wanted to deal with the JTT. We have written to them, and the response is lacking, so to speak. You know, the national championship came. There's a issue that has not been dealt with from the last two national championships. I will only say this, but I will not go in details about it, because as I said before, we will not venture down the JTT.
Yeah.
I will ask you, sir, as a experienced journalist in sport, if a team is playing an event and an issue of protest comes up in a national championship, can the protest be done verbally?
No.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. I will not say nothing more. I cannot say anything more. Okay? But that is what I will say. Nothing more.
Well, it's so sad that, you know, as I said earlier, that Kasata is not to run against the JTTA, but for the benefit of table tennis, I think all the bodies will be working in harmony on the same page. Because if Kasata is one for the corporate area, you may have one for St. Anne. I know Mr. Lamont have a Portland program going on there, but he's not throwing his hat into the ring to run as well for the presidency. Try to get him online shortly, but I don't understand as to, it's like Kasata is here, Portland is there, and the TT is there. There's no oneness going on right now in table tennis.
If you come to Excelsior, we have started back our program. You know, we have a club at Excelsior over the years. Because Excelsior was where the national team was being kept for some time. You can remember in Mr. Godfrey Lothian's time.
Yeah.
We accommodated them. I'm a former student of Excelsior many years ago, and I coach a team. So we had Excelsior at our disposal. And looking at it, if I am having a training program and you as a coach pass by, you come by, whatever, and you have the time, I will certainly ask you, I say, Mr. Thompson, beg you, give me a half hour. I am not afraid to ask coaches to participate in my training session. I am confident enough with my ability as a coach and an administrator. That is where we are at now. I am a level 3 coach.
Right.
I did the sports management course with GOA. I did the Panam High Performance Coaching course. I just finished this new thing, the psychological first aid. All these things, I have used the opportunity in the pandemic to help Kasata to grow.
All right. In the area of coaching, last time we had Mr. Lamont here, and he said our level of coaching is way below like the region, like the Central Americans and the Asian. So what is Kasata's role now in helping to raise the level of coaching in Jamaica, where our players can be exposed to higher quality coaching?
Okay.
Because no, you is a qualified coach, so to Mr. Lamont.
Okay. We're looking at it like this. The Houston, Texas Table Tennis Academy, we are in partnership with the Kasata group right now. Mr. Evans Biles and Mr. Manny, the executive director for the club, we met on Zoom. We have been speaking on Zoom regularly. So recently, 2 members of the Jamaica team was up there training. They funded their way, but remember, Kasata opened that door.
Oh, that's good.
That is what we are trying to do, partnering with people, and we are hoping to provide funding so we, Kasata, can send one or two more players up to these places. Remember, I shouldn't say remember, the players from the Caribbean is now going to that place for training. They have high-level coaches up there. I'm not saying we don't have high-level coaches here in Jamaica. The problem I say with our coaching principle is that we tend to say, all right, I want my player to beat your player. But the Kasata's philosophy is not that. Our philosophy is we are trying to develop a player, our players, so we work on your strength and your weaknesses.
Right.
So, and in our opinion, as long as we work and do the right thing, the development of that individual is a wider cross section. We can't be beating up on each other here. And when we leave our shores, we can't beat a man with him head turned behind him. And that is the thing, because we're used to each other here, but we don't. The game is not, the mental aspect of the game is not, I don't think, is emphasized on in its entirety.
Oh.
You know, they had a meeting some time ago, and I was invited, and I spoke. A question was asked of me, and I spoke about the biomechanics and the analytics of the game. And at the end of the meeting, an individual called me and asked me, why am I so scientific?
That's weird.
I'm being honest. I am being honest.
That's the way it's supposed to go for the past.
Thank you very much, sir.
20 years now. Or more.
Okay.
Not anything like last year or this year.
Sir, that is what was said.
That's how sports is going.
When we spoke about the mental health, I made mention of sleep, rest, nutrition, and all these things towards the mental health of players. And I was told that is not mental health.
Oh, God.
I just finished module 5 of the high performance course, and that was one of the things that they emphasized. And the course came out of Canada, and it spoke about sports and a cross section, not just table tennis.
No, we see mental health as somebody insane.
Insane, yes.
And that people don't understand mental health don't mean mad person.
No, it starts.
It's a stigma in Jamaica we need to get rid of.
No, you see, we need. That is why when we did the sports psychology, Michelle Harris, is a psychologist, and she emphasized on recognition. It's not something to replace counseling, you know, but it helps you know. Our knowledge now helps to recognize a problem with that individual and assist in taking you or the individual to the correct supporting factor.
It reminds me when Sugar Leonard was fighting Marvin Hagler. And the coach at him say, you're not real Leonard. You cannot beat Hagler as real Leonard. Get back to Sugar Ray.
Yeah.
So it's that mentality, you know. Stop being real Leonard and get back to Sugar Ray if you want to beat Hagler. I remember retires back in my retire, you know.
Yeah, man.
I not real Leonard. Said, no, that's not going to work. Get back to Sugar Ray if you want to beat Hagler.
You see, that's mind game.
That's a mind thing.
I asked my little player that I was developing, is at JC, is young Brian Blake. And if you ask him, if you ask him about why is a lion considered the king of the jungle, he's not the biggest, not the smartest, not the tallest, not the strongest. He'll tell you it's a mindset of the lion.
Right.
And that is what I'm trying to implement into my personals that comes around me. It's a mindset. You don't care who you are, and if I'm here to challenge you, because if I go in with that doubt, I have already lost. And these are the things that I was trying to bring to the table tennis. I also made mention in Mr. Lothian's time about developing table tennis in Jamaica. Like how you have reggae girls, soca boys, and all these things. And I'm saying to them, table tennis needs to develop with own style of game, own style, we are strong, fast, athletic nation.
And work on our natural abilities.
You work with that. That is the mentality we should be developing our game. If you look at football, when you look at Spain playing or Brazil, Germany, you don't need to see the name.
That's
The
a style.
brand,
The brand.
yes, sir.
The
It's the
brand.
same thing with table tennis. Swedes, the Chinese is different. You don't need to see a name. So why is it that we as Jamaicans can't develop our own thing, but instead, somebody mentioning something like that, you're going to send in an email. There's nothing like that.
In football now, Jamaica don't have a football philosophy like other countries.
Well,
we don't have one.
I'm hoping that this
TT the same thing. We don't have one
That's
either.
what I've been trying, sir. I have been trying to do that. We know we all did the level 1, and some of us did level 2. A few of us did level 3. But the level 1 basic ITTF principle, is where all of us as coaches have gone through. So we have the basic principle. It's the interpretation of the coaches and the individual players that know to be worked on. Because you remember this cricketer, Malinga, so it comes across.
Yeah, with the ball.
With the ball.
In ball different from
Everybody else, because what? His mechanism is different. His arm, as I said, the bowling, your arm must come right over. Isn't that it?
Yeah, but
him can't do it. But then it's the interpretation.
Of the rule. Of the rule.
Yes, sir.
And if he was totally illegal.
Yes, because when they test him, they realize him and cannot go the full extent like our biomechanics is different.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing I've been trying whenever chance we get to put these things forward.
Look at Michael Johnson as a sprinter.
Oh God, man.
He have no style.
The man look like him sitting down.
You know, like a normal sprinter, the high knees and the arm action, the pumping, the high knees and the stride. He don't have that. But he does a world class sprinter, Olympic champion, world champion, world record holder.
But didn't they say the same thing about Bolt, that he was too tall?
Too tall.
Yes.
Tall people don't now will be good sprinters.
Yeah, but look at the man now. Everybody want to get tall for sprint. But you see, each of us, or biomechanics, and the biomechanics of everybody is different.
Mm-hmm.
But then, if you have a basic principle in which to work from, it makes a difference. And then now we as coaches should be interpreting this principle to pass it on to our players. That's what my take on it is, We had, when you mentioned it, we had Evans and Biles in 2019 running a camp here. And it would have done last year, but because the association had the nationals the same time we were supposed to have, so they could not travel twice. So we accommodated the national championship here. They came for it. Mr. Evans got thrown out by it, but Mr. Biles came and participated. Miss Shanique Clare, who hasn't played in years, she came and supported the national championship.
Wow.
She's married, have her kid. She wants to play. She came for vacation, brought her husband here, and she spent her time to play table tennis and make him go do him thing. Yes, it's the love of the sport, the passion that we all have in different shape and form.
Let me ask you now, Spoon. The national, the AGM election is due next month. So far, Mr. Lamont has declared his candidacy. You the head of the Casata. Do you ever give thought to running for the top job in this country?
I said that I didn't want to be a part of it. People have a lot of persons reach out to me. But I am seeing Lamont put his hat in the ring, and I'm willing to support Lamont to this point. I've gotten calls not to. And I said it to Lamont. But I and Casata wants the best for the sport. And if Lamont can bring us that thing, we will support Lamont. We support Lamont. But I cannot sit here and tell you, we don't know about the tape. No. Lamont is throwing his hat in the ring.
Yeah.
We are supporting. If Lamont give us a reason not to support him, fine. But we are supporting Lamont to this point. At least Spoon is supporting Lamont to this point. Casata is as I said before, an organization. So when we meet, we'll finalize that. For clarity, Lamont support, is it coming from you personally or from Casata? This is coming from me.
Are you personally?
Yes, sir.
Oh, so you don't know about the group as yet?
No, we spoke in brief yesterday evening we had a meeting between 3 and 4, and the guys overseas we were discussing it. So we said, let us have our meetings again. But we are waiting for the affiliate. We are waiting for the date to know what is happening. When it will be election, we call.
I think sometime next month.
The Constitution
But next
speaks to
month
February.
is like
A few
next week.
days. A few days.
All right, and there's no nomination there. No, there's no announcement as
We
it.
don't. Well, for me, I've not heard anything. Well, I'll have to check with when I leave here. I'll check with Miss Osborne and Miss Suen Chang, because that is how we work. Everybody don't go into the Kasata mail. Two persons.
Everybody won the role.
No, because the mail is checked by Miss Osborne and Miss Swen, and they bring whatever is done to the floor. That's how we work. A team effort.
All right, at the AGM now, who are the persons that just voted at the AGM?
It is the affiliates.
So like Kasata now, how many votes you have as an organization?
The last time it was everybody got 2 votes.
Oh, 2
All
votes.
affiliates have 2 votes.
Oh. So 2 votes per affiliate.
Yes, sir.
Oh, so maybe we might hear some election announcement. Expect yes, election announcement shortly.
Well, I thought we'd have had it before. The announcement would have been made before.
Because you have to have the nomination day, and then you have the election.
and the
So
election, yes.
and it's June, February, like
And-
just like the parish council election.
I think it said before. It must be the last Saturday in the month of February. I think that's what the Constitution.
Well, what's the time period between election day and the date of nomination? What's the time period?
think
2 weeks, a week, or
I
what?
think it's 21 days.
21 days.
I think it's 20.
No.
Don't quote me on that, because
All right, just roughly.
roughly 21
Yeah.
days. I think it was 21 days.
That means I'm not feeling it next month. I'm not feeling it. Maybe it put off to another month. I'm not seeing it next month.
remember, no
It
AGM was kept last year.
But it due February.
It due February.
But can it extension to a month or 2?
I don't know. I don't know. Well, I don't know. The Constitution states that you have an annual AGM, and every 2 years you have a voting AGM.
Yes.
No AGM was kept this year. We don't know. Well, we don't know why. No reason was given.
But the voting one due February.
February. That's why Mr. Lamont,
All
I
right.
think,
All right.
chose
On the
that
Constitution now, if for some reason it cannot be kept in February, there's a extension date, time period, a month, 2 months, 3
I
months.
think so. There is something there for it.
So extension time
Yeah, but
period.
I don't remember. I have not looked at the Constitution. Is it from the last? I've not looked at the Constitution. It's when we had the issue before with the former president. We were digging up and digging. But before, I put those things behind me because we want to grow as a Kasata team. We were expecting certain things from this administration. So we had committed everything we had to this association.
Wow.
That's what we did. We totally stopped. And if you notice, I think they said that they don't have any equipment. I think it's in the news. It was said on the news.
Yeah, I heard it.
And and I think there's an article in yesterday's Gleaner, and it mentioned there no equipment. Kasata only have training equipment. That is what we keep our tournaments on. Training tables. It's a far different from
A competition
table. Different bunks and all these things. And we were planning to get our own, but because we were expecting so much support from this administration, we said, no, sir, we're working with these people. We're not even thinking about anything else. And it seemed that it didn't work out.
Wow. As we wind down Make We Talk Sports for today. And so, in closing now, what will be the next move now for Kasata in terms of having any competition coming up soon?
Okay, quick.
Any tournament?
All right, what we're doing, there's a calendar we will send out shortly.
Of-
We send out the calendar shortly.
of
We will
events.
mention a few of it. And we are taking, we are finishing up our not the prospectus, we are spinning up our proposal to send seeking sponsors. We have met with some people and they have requested certain things to be done to the proposal. We are finalizing that Excel file with the figures. Because we can't just come and beg Mr. Thompson $10. We need to show you what your $10 is going to be used for. Umpires, cleaning crew, balls. It needs to be broken down into categories. And that's what we are doing presently. And I think it's time for us to close, right?
Yeah.
So in closing, I'd like to say just this. Thank you very much for having us as the Kasata and the supporters of Kasata. And we would like to say more, it's likely to live with the truth than to have to live with someone else's lie. I will close with that, sir.
That's a good note to close on. Live with the truth, than someone else's lie. Perfect. Perfect way to close. All right, what a way to close perfectly. So on that note, I will come now to the end of Make We Talk Sport for today. Special guest was Spoon. You see no Spoon, right? Not natural eating spoon. Spoon. His name is Stephen Grant, and he is one of the directors in the Kingston St. Andrew TT Association. Thanks for being a part of the program, and we'll continue to put TT back on the forefront.
Most definitely, you can look for great things. With given the opportunity, Kasata will promise and do great things.
All right.
Me count, you count, census say all of we count. Hey.
Data collection for the census continues. The time is...
The time is now 12 o'clock here on Root FM 96.1. We go down to a Must Bus feature. Hoist Miss, one called Mitch. It's called Hoisted by Mitch, or Must Bus song for today.
Puffing on the highest trees, up and away on the count of three. I know I said I'd be down in a few, but this time don't count on me. Just have to take a draw, and now I'm standing right beside a Jaja. Meditation is the place to be. Me take a time out, so see you later. Yes, sir, me no cater, call me weedy. If you pray for me roll up in a paper, me a light it and me price it. Yes, sir, me no cater, call me weedy, not whatever. From me roll up in a paper, me a light it and me price it. Floating on these wicked beats, into me music like the lines in the streets. Them I wonder what me doing to keep up. Like rain, blessings that fall on me. Here does you're wasting time. Your mind upon me morning. Steady up the ladder, me climb a little push on the herbs. Now it's cloudy and sunny. When I great skills, yeah, me running on the bush. Birds happy bird, even though it ain't no kush. My girl light it up, stop one like you stoosh. Baby just do it, call it like you swoosh. It better than to spend time with your friend well love soon. Don't deny it, girl, you know how the truth. Babes and me and you alone, you're under one roof. We do it all night till 1 week all through. Yes now, me no cater, call me weedy. If you pray for